Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Does Valdo for some reason look like he belongs in JoJo? Look at this. Stand! See? But this week of JoJo, Goldenwind. Oh, Lord. They are not playing when it comes down to these ending the episode at the weirdest and sometimes the worst times ever when something's about to pop off, or right when we're about to actually learn what's going to happen to the person that just did all of this on the boat. Which that's what these animes back in the that came from decades and decades ago. They are really smart at putting these types of pauses, these types of climax. They're just they have a very good handle on what the audience is going to want to see, and to hold that back just for another week. Give you like all these like they made it almost seem like the battle wasn't going to end this week because of just how complicated it started to get overall. So it's like, imagine if they really have a character that they can't just defeat in one episode. Um, later on in the series, of course. But imagine if that was this episode, and like the boat. There's a second boat inside of the other boat because of the man turned himself into like an inflatable boat, pretty much, or something like that. Um, or just the fact that even though he got him and he actually got him to show the real boat, and all these different things, it still put the notion of, oh, now he still has hostages. So, but of course, in epic fashion with JoJo's, hostages aren't really anything if you're slow. And it made a lot of sense why he had to attack the way he was attacking, and such, you know, uh, hiding and jumping out of nowhere to catch people off guard, is because he was just that slow. And that's what I kind of was questioning when it came down to this character, Jotaro's GIO. Just what the heck his weakness was, like, because I'm like, man, he's OP, but he does his weakness is range and overall stand speed, I guess. But if you guys remember in Diamond's Unbreakable, uh, Jotaro started out pretty doo-doo. Like his stand and everything was OP because it could heal and it could do all those things. Plus, it was just naturally strong. But when it came down to it, he had no type of training in his stand. He had no range attack. Unlike Geo, who could turn a banana into a gun. But what he did say is he turned the gun into the banana, so he had to have already had a gun, maybe as the basis for it to work. So there's that. So it almost takes away from him being able to literally have a range weapon, unless he literally carries a gun around with him that he can turn into like a pocket watch or something that can be on him at all times and people can't question it, type of deal. But with this week's episode, he is completely taken out of the picture, and that's what JoJo is really known for their series. Is we have this main character, but what if the main character doesn't do the whole episode and win? It's like, oh my god, what are you talking about? This is foreign. you know like, they do this so well that you feel like, oh, I must have forgot that all these other characters are probably going to be main characters for at least an episode or two. So be prepared for that. I mean, even if one of the people on the team has a more complicated stand than Geo, it just goes to show that they're putting in so much effort for the audience to be entertained with not only the main character, who has like these really cool abilities and a personality to match it, but to also then make these characters who he's hanging out with not feel so lackluster. Make them feel like someone that oh my God, we still have this guy alive, then yeah, we still have a chance of winning type of deal. Not like, oh, Gio's alive and we have three other people, so we might be able to win. Like, they need to be strong in their own rights. And with the stand of this guy who, Gio really put his hopes into because one person said, you have the stand that's perfect for this. And watching the rewind and all that stuff and him fast forwarding. Oh my God, this show is so dumb with the powers, bro. Like, if there's any show that I feel like shouldn't be in the versus battles, it's JoJo's because they could pull if all of them stood out, right? If they all like walked outside and they saw a whole nother series of another show with like Bleach or Naruto, all these other shows, it wouldn't end up being a complete and total wash because of how this man, who has made JoJo's shows, he's just made such a weird army of uh, overall stand users, boss characters, and very weird uh, um, conditions that people need to fulfill, to be able to do things. But overall, I have my money on a lot of these JoJo characters who can straight up deflate somebody. So you're absolutely nothing. You can't really do anything. You have no muscle mass, but you have a pulse type of deal. Or, we got someone who can literally open up, hit something right underneath them and leave the area completely unscathed. Like he would literally unzip my floor and dip, and I would have to walk downstairs to catch him. So there's things that, but it just comes down to their overall natural power, like as just humans in general. I think that really puts them at the disadvantage, like their speed, their normal speed, and all this stuff. Like the Unbreakable Diamond guy said he can pretty much throw punches at 300 miles per hour, and that's very slow in Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, who's throwing punches quicker than light and stuff like that. So, still, these characters stands, and what I'm saying, like this rewind of learning, like to break down a crime scenes and stuff like that is absolutely nuts. And I love the fact that these are all bad people, quote unquote. Um, they're people that literally see themselves under the light as just like lower than scum, or they're not that low, but they're not far from it, and they should be treated as such types of deals. It really puts into perspective just what we're kind of going to be seeing further on. There's no way to normally tell everything that can come with these types of stories, but once they really put in front of you, um, how people see them, how people continue to see them, and then you give them an organization like gangsters, like that they're mob related types of things, it really kind of draws the narrative for me to see that they really want you to believe that these people are bad. And not only are they bad, they're literally, some people that are peddling drugs, and they're people that are just evil people in general that by finding out about money, they attack you and turn you into a balloon. Okay? A deflated one at that. um, but yeah, man, overall, they really made me like the gang leader just by his reaction to everybody kind of being taken out and seeing them all fall different ways. It really shows, that he was upset. He really wanted to get back whoever was getting him. And not only was he trying to get him, he didn't want anybody like GIO, who throws himself out there to truly figure out what's going on. Yeah, he didn't want him doing stuff like that. So now we're going to have to find out um, just where this guy had the courage to do all this. Is he's working under somebody? Um, I mean, he lost his head. Like, he literally put a zipper around the bad guy's neck this week and popped it off. So not only did he lose, like he lost in front of all these guys, they know his ability, But also, I'm guessing he's probably going to be scared, and he might just snitch on whoever, whoever his higher up is or whatever, and maybe that's who, maybe wanted the money even more than him. I'm not sure, but we do know that this guy is probably not dead just because of how he, reacted after his head got freaking popped off his body this week. It was interesting though that it seems like this is not fully over unless next week's episode starts up with like, all of them being safe and whatnot. But from what we saw, oh yeah, that's right. I can't recoil this guy unless I do a strong. Oh my God, this one's so bad. Um, we saw that he only brought back really one person, and that was the person that was a hostage. So maybe either they're just down low and he hasn't like brought them up necessarily, but at the same time, we're looking at the possibility that this guy is either not working alone, or once he gets found to be dead or something, people in the membership are going to come after um, him, come after everybody in there. And what if they have a stand that can also crack the codes and stuff like that? So we're really about to dive into the gangsters, I feel like, in the sense of we're going to know exactly what they are bringing to the table, exactly what could have happened amongst, there's a couple things that could have happened amongst the people that are actually working together. And to hear that, one of them literally killed off another, or one went out of his way to attack the others in the membership. It could be against policies and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that we get some rules of this gang that GIO has joined, like the rules of, attacking and being caught, I guess. Or just the instance of if he doesn't kill him himself and the gang finds out, are they going to kill him? And does the leaders in the gang know more about the stands of the other people, so they feel like they're higher ups, so they know things that if certain things start going amiss, they know who could be behind it. So I'm really interested to see what the heck is going to happen next week. Usually, just like with all JoJo episodes, though, there's always something that's going to pop off, in my opinion. So just like this week and last. So I can't. Oh my God, this character is so bad. I can't wait to see just what actually occurs, and let me know what you guys think about this week's episode. Was it what you expected? Were you expecting to see a lot more action and stuff like that, or was this right up your alley? Because I really did enjoy this. I didn't expect a lot of it to happen this way, but at the same time, I wanted it, to learn a lot about this guy's stand, and I think this episode definitely highlighted enough for me to be like, wow. Like, like this guy is probably still fresh as a stand user, and yet he's already doing stuff like this pretty easily. So I can't wait to see what they have in store for this guy. He could become pretty high up in the rankings for GIO, in the sense of if he has someone like that who can solve a crime, like actually get justice served, is what I'm guessing this guy wants after being a cop and having all those things going amiss for him. To be able to solve cases actually and to show proof of the solving of it is huge, guys. So um, I would love to see your guys' opinion. Thank you guys so much for my first JoJo video on episode 5. You guys showed me so much love. I had to do this one first before a show that I usually drop first, but thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, slap a like. It would be appreciated. But don't worry about it. Just by the video last time, I'm still like freaking out how much you guys actually viewed it. So I don't even need likes and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure you guys know I'm not doing it just for the views. I did really enjoy this episode, and I enjoyed the last one as well. So it's really fun for me to be able to say these things and know that at least some people are going to enjoy this content. So with that, I'm going to beat the crap out of this guy until I win, and I will be here suffering until I beat this guy. So if my other video's late, this is why, because I want to destroy this man. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, evening, morning, whenever you guys are watching this, night. I appreciate you, and I hope you stay tuned for the next videos that drop on my channel. So with that, peace.